I've overfilled. Oh, this is burning my hand really bad. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, that hurt. All right, so don't get it on your hands. So next steps are to kind of establish the path of work through the shop. To my right is our main entrance door. So this is the door that all the steel is going to be coming into, the hickory is going to be coming into, at least for now. And I've set the automatic bandsaw in as the first step to our entire operation. I went ahead, drilled down. This slab in this building is incredibly thick. I've actually yet to find the bottom. So I drilled down 8 inches per bolt. These are 7/8 diameter bolts, 10 inches long. So I set them down 8 inches with 2 inches of stick out roughly. And I grouted those in place with a anchoring epoxy. So you drill it 1 inch, you drop a 7/8 bolt in, it gives you a 1/16 per side, also a little bit of adjustment. Fill it with epoxy, drop the fastener in, let it cure. I've let this one cure overnight. I can go ahead and level this now. So it's wildly unlevel. I'll be leveling the crane, getting it plumb and square, and then we will, once it's square, then we'll drop the jib onto it. That's, I believe, a 12-foot, 10-foot or 12-foot radius, 360 degrees around this post. Okay, crane is up, having a few problems though. The chain connection is broken. So I have to fix that. And one thing, I've put this crane up a few times and I've installed a few jib cranes at this point. And one thing I do like to check is make sure that nothing is moving. So I'll put a mag level on there and just watch it as I rotate around. There's not a lot of weight on it, but there is some. The other thing is when you're installing a gantry crane like this, where we're putting it on just like a pad, you want to make sure you're 36, 48 inches away from any joints in the concrete slab, because you can actually pull a slab if it's not super thick. This one's super, super thick. And then you'll also notice on the base of this crane, here, I'll show you, there's a gap. So these are used to level it. I'll cut these off. But there's a gap underneath the crane. And that's normal. What you want to do is we'll get this all cleaned up, and then we'll use a machine grout, a non-shrink grout. I don't know what it's made out of, if it's an epoxy or a polyurethane, I'm not sure. But you'll use a machine grout, we'll pour it under there, build a little dam around and pour it under, and that just seals everything together and makes a nice connection between the base of the crane, which is often bowed from welding that big heavy post onto a flat plate, and the concrete. And so that's just, it's not really a structural thing, but it keeps debris from getting underneath it. And it's just another layer of anchoring everything nice and soundly. So this crane has been sitting in my yard in front of my shop for the last, I don't know, 2 years maybe. And so it's gotten beaten up, it's been dragged through the gravel. So it needs a fresh coat of paint and cleaned up a little bit. I got to repair the carriage is sticking kind of bad. So we'll get that cleaned up and fixed. But I now have the ability, I'll be able to swing this out over my truck or a delivery truck, and then we'll bring that right over with a full material load to the saw, which is super, super slick. I can even use a sling, you know, to hold really long bars. One thing, this crane is a 1,000-pound crane, and I've found I have some bigger cranes, and you know, there's actually girders in, or whatever you call them, to put a 53-foot crane over this hole, a full bridge crane, which would be super cool. However, one thing I've learned is when you get bigger and bigger and bigger, the cranes start to get really heavy. And as the beams and the crane components themselves get heavier, they stop being easy to use. They have to be motorized, the complexity goes through the roof. So I know that I'm just lifting 1 or 2 bars at a time with this crane. And so 1,000-pound capacity, actually might be 500 pounds. I'll need to double check that. Crane is really light, so I can just move it around. We installed a 20-foot long, 1,000-pound crane at the coal shop over the saw station to do exactly what we're doing here. And we never use it because it's so heavy. Once you get it to move, especially with a load, it just wants to keep going, and it's really, 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 really not accurate when you're placing things and bringing machines in and out of a truck. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Really go with the smallest crane that fits your the problem you're trying to solve with the crane. You know, if you're moving 500-pound parts or less, get a 500-pound crane. It's not that additional capacity isn't nice. It's really just that that additional capacity might make it hard to use the crane for the purposes you originally intended it for. So just some things I've learned over the years, installing cranes and building out production work cells and moving machinery and all the things that come with being a blacksmith in 2026. So, all right, next project.